Okay, let's unpack this then.
Right.
Today we're diving into plant propagation, specifically looking at Celosia varieties.
Yeah, and a kind of surprising technique, actually.
Exactly. Our source is interesting. It's basically someone's personal gardening notes, just sharing their own experiments, observations.
Real hands-on stuff from their backyard. I like those kinds of sources.
Me too. So the mission for this deep dive is to explore this, well, really unexpected finding about rooting tall Celosia cuttings in water.
And what that could mean for you gardening at home, especially maybe if you're newer to propagation.
Good point. The source mentions they've tried growing Celosia from seed before, with mixed results. Sometimes good, sometimes not so much.
Yeah, that happens. Seeds can be tricky sometimes.
But something they noticed when using cuttings really jumped out at them.
Okay, intrigued. What was the specific observation?
Well, it was all about the timing, how fast it happened, kind of challenges the usual expectations.
Right. Okay, so here's the really interesting bit. The key finding highlighted in these notes.
Yeah.
Cuttings taken from the nodes, the little joints on the stem of tall Celosia varieties. Think coxcomb, wheat Celosia, the ones that can get quite high.
The leggy ones sometimes.
Exactly. They rooted these just in plain water, and they saw significant roots developing within a week.
Wow. Okay. Within a week. That really is fast.
It is.
Because, usually you hear, 2 to 3 weeks? That's the number you see online mostly. Sometimes longer.
Precisely. So a week is, well, it's notably quicker.
That's speed. That could be a real game changer, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Especially if you're, a bit impatient waiting for roots.
Right. And they were specific about taking cuttings from the nodes. For anyone just starting, the node is that little bumper joint where leaves or side shoots come out.
That's often where the growth hormones are concentrated, isn't it?
Exactly. So they took these node cuttings, it seems, from the upper, actively growing parts of these tall plants.
Okay, so that combination, node cuttings.
From tall varieties.
In just water. That seems to be the magic formula here, based on this one observation anyway.
It makes you wonder why, doesn't it? Is it maybe more rooting hormone, auxins at those tip nodes on taller, fast-growing stems?
Or maybe something about the water itself. That Celosia just happens to respond really well and quickly to water rooting.
That's the question, isn't it? Like the deep dive within the deep dive.
It's just
It's a simple experiment, but it raises these questions about what's optimal for this specific plant.
It's not just if it roots, but how fast it can root under certain conditions.
Exactly. So what does this mean for you listening for your garden?
Well, this unexpected speed, it offers a really valuable solution, specifically for those tall Celosia types.
Yeah.
The ones that might be getting too leggy, falling over.
Or even if they have problems lower down, like root rot starting at the base.
Oh, good point. So if your lovely tall Celosia is getting too tall and floppy,
You just snip a healthy bit from the top, find a good node,
pop it in some water.
and potentially, based on this, you've got roots starting in just a week. It basically lets you create a sort of dwarf version, starting fresh.
A shorter clone, yeah.
Yes.
Or, like you said, if the main plant is struggling lower down, maybe root rot.
You take a healthy cutting from way up high, an unaffected part. It's like a high-speed rescue mission for that plant, that variety you want to keep.
A really simple, quick way to propagate new, healthy plants from it.
And what's great, and the source points this out, is how accessible it is. They actually recommend it for, hobbyist beginner gardeners.
Right, because Celosia itself is usually pretty affordable. You see them as bedding plants everywhere. And they're generally quite easy to grow anyway.
Yeah, not fussy plants usually, so you don't need fancy heat mats or special rooting powders necessarily. Just the plant, snips, water, a jar.
It makes it a really rewarding first step into propagation, doesn't it? Takes away some of the fear factor, maybe.
Yeah.
And that speed is definitely motivating.
Absolutely. So this brings up a sort of broader question for you to think about based on just this one gardener's notes. If rooting these specific Celosia cuttings can be this surprisingly fast, much quicker than the standard timelines.
Yeah. What else might be different?
Exactly. What other common gardening rules or timelines might actually vary quite a bit depending on the exact technique you use or the specific plant variety, or even just small things in your environment?
How does this simple finding challenge some of those wider assumptions we might have about how long things should take in the garden?
Makes you want to experiment a bit more yourself, doesn't it? See what happens.